Good evening. In a shocking turn of events, the skies over Washington, D.C. became a scene of tragedy last night. A mid-air collision between a passenger jet and a military helicopter has left many questioning how such an incident could occur in our modern age of aviation. The bustling airspace above Reagan National Airport became a chaotic scramble for answers as a PSA Airlines CRJ-700, operating as Blue Streak Flight 5342, collided with a Black Hawk helicopter. The helicopter had just taken off while the CRJ-700 was preparing to land. This collision highlights the inherent dangers of a system that relies on both human judgment and sophisticated technology. The skies above our nation's capital are often filled with the hustle and bustle of aircraft arriving and departing. It's a delicate ballet of movement, reliant on precise communication and coordination. But last night, that delicate balance was shattered, leaving behind a trail of debris and unanswered questions. At approximately 8:46 p.m., multiple aircraft were in various stages of approach to Reagan National Airport. American Airlines Flight 3130 was among them, its pilots initially unaware that they were about to become key witnesses to a disaster. Air traffic control, juggling multiple aircraft simultaneously, guided both the ill-fated Blue Streak 5342 and the Black Hawk helicopter through what should have been routine maneuvers. The tower, in communication with both the helicopter and approaching aircraft, issued clearance for the Black Hawk to ascend to 1,200 feet. This clearance, seemingly routine, would prove to be a fatal link in the chain of events. Moments later, the unthinkable occurred. The CRJ-700 and the Black Hawk collided south of the Woodrow Bridge, a horrifying crash captured in part by the stunned silence on the air traffic control frequencies. In the aftermath of this tragedy, investigators are focusing on the crucial principle of visual separation. In busy airspace, pilots rely not only on instruments and air traffic control, but also on their own vigilance to maintain safe distances from other aircraft. The concept of see and avoid is paramount, but in this instance, something went terribly wrong. The crew of the CRJ-700, responsible for visually identifying and avoiding the helicopter, failed to do so. Why? Was it a lapse in judgment, a moment of distraction, or a tragic miscalculation? These are the very questions that haunt the families of those lost in this disaster, and the questions that investigators must strive to answer. While it's too early to definitively pinpoint the cause, human error, sadly, cannot be ruled out. The immediate aftermath of the collision saw a swift and coordinated response from air traffic control. Emergency crews were dispatched to the crash site and Reagan National Airport was immediately shut down. The priority quickly shifted to search and rescue, but the grim reality of fatality soon emerged. The investigation into this tragic incident will be long and complex. The Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, will be tasked with piecing together the events that led to this collision, examining every communication, every radar track, and every decision made in those critical moments. But beyond the technical details, this tragedy underscores a profound truth about aviation. The margin for error is razor thin. It highlights the importance of continuous training for pilots and air traffic controllers, emphasizing situational awareness and the criticality of the see and avoid principle. As we mourn the lives lost in this avoidable disaster, let us hope that lessons learned from this tragedy will prevent such a catastrophe from ever happening again. We'll be right back.